Hi everyone, welcome back to the session. So myself Ramya Sri, Assistant Professor in the CSE department at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today I am going to discuss about file system versus database systems in the database management system. So before going to explain about differences between the file system and database systems, I would like to tell what is file system and what is database system. Then after we'll discuss about the difference between those two and which is more flexible and more efficient. So first we'll go into the first slide, that is what is file system. So file system is nothing but it is a technique which is used to arrange files in a storage media. A storage media can be anything, that can be hard disk or pen drive or DVD. This can be anything, hard disk, pen drive, DVD. Normally the file system stores data only in the hard disk, pen drive and the DVD. So these are called as a file system arrangement. And file system arrange the data in the unstructured format, not in the organized. Nothing but it will store in the unorganized format. It will be organized, but in the unstructured format. It won't have a specific format. And moreover, if this file system, whatever data we organize here, it is very easy to retrieve the files whichever need by the user. And file system arrange data in the unstructured format, and that unstructured format should be in the tree-like structure. Basically, first it should contains root node, then after parent, then after child node. In this format, the file system arrange data. And there may be different types of files. Those are MP3 or MP4 or text or document. These all are different types of files where it will store the information or data. This is a one type of the storage allocation that is called as a file system. And whatever the different files, MP3, MP4, text and the document, those all are grouped into directories. Already I told the file system will store the data in the form of the tree form like structure, and it will be in the hierarchical model. So directory is nothing but a group of files under the single file. We can call as a folder. And here not only we can organize or we can retrieve the data from the file, we can perform the operations on the file that is which is stored data in the storage media. Those operations are only two types. First one is reading the content and second one is writing the content into the file. So these two are the major operations we can perform data which is present in the storage media, that is hard disk, DVD or pen drive. So now let us see the architecture of the file system, how it looks like. Already told it is unstructured collection of data, and it is also called as a hierarchical representation. It will follow to represent the file system. So this is a file system. So coming to first layer, it is called as a master file directory. Why it is called as a master file directory? Because it contains of 4 directories. X is one directory, Y is one directory, Z is one directory and T is a one directory. So the combination of all the 4 directories is called as a master file directory, and this is also called as a root directory. Nothing but it is also called as the root. And apart under X, we are having one more directory that is called as a subdirectory, that we call as a user file directory. So every directory contains some set of files and every subfile contains some subfiles. So this will be in the hierarchical notation. The first file is master file directory and second one is user file directory, and last lower level contains only for whatever the files which are including in under the directory. So whatever the files and whatever the content we store in the file, it will be represented in this format, which is unstructured collection of data. Now let us see what is DBMS. So DBMS is nothing but a database management system, is a software designed for maintaining and utilizing large collection of data. In the And we know that the DBMS, it will store the data in the form of tables, rows or columns or indexes, which is very flexible for the user to extract data from the tables rather than going with the file system. And moreover, it also here DBMS also perform the operations which is present in the backend. That is, we can store the data, we can retrieve the data, we can update, we can alter, we can perform any type of operations in the DBMS also. And we can effectively extract the data whatever the user needed. And coming to third one, apart from the operations and storing, and the DBMS also provide one more feature that is also called as a security measure. So it will protect the unauthorized access. Nothing but only authorized persons can only access the data which is present in the database. Even authorized also can able to view only whatever the information they needed, and remaining will be hidden from the authorized also. So it is very protective compared to the file system. So here in the DBMS, we make use of SQL, nothing but a structured query language, which is used to perform any type of operations in the DBMS. There is a major language which we use to perform any type of operation in the DBMS. Now let us see advantages of DBMS over file system. So whatever the advantages I am going to mention here, those are called as the benefits and advantages of DBMS, and those all are called as the drawbacks of the file system. So that's why the traditional method is file system, and our now present we are using only DBMS. Why we have migrated to the file system to DBMS? Due to these following reasons. So the first one is the data redundancy. Second one is the data inconsistency. Third one is that is easy to access data. And fourth one is data isolation. And fifth one is data integrity. And sixth one is atomicity problems. Seventh one is concurrent access. And eighth one is security problem. So all these are nothing but a drawbacks of file system we can call. All these are called as a drawbacks of file system, and which are called as advantages of DBMS. So why we are migrating from the file system to DBMS with these 8 features, I will explain in the next slide. So first we'll discuss about the first one, that is called as a data redundancy, which is, so I'm going to discuss about difference between the file system and database system. So first one, data redundancy. What is data redundancy? So data redundancy is nothing but a duplication of data. Duplication is nothing but a same type of information, present in several places, that is called as duplication. And this duplication, due to this duplication, it leads to high storage and high access cost. So that is there in the file system, and data redundancy is not there in the database system. Why? Because suppose I consider the student S1. The student S1 want to register the course C and C++. Suppose that I am taking the student S1, he want to register in the two courses C and C++. So before going to register these two courses, the student S1 should give the details, the total details of the S1, and the details of S1 will be holding on the record of C and holding on the record of C++. Nothing but a same type of information is holding in two ways. Nothing but is saving in the two places. Under the one record, under C record, the same information is storing. Under C++ record, same information is storing. So this is a major thing about the data redundancy. Nothing but the same type of information is storing in two different places. That is called as data redundancy. That is a problem we are facing in the file system. But when coming to database systems, this problem cannot be occurred, because data redundancy, why it is not possible? Because the data which we store in the databases in the form of tables only. So wherever we create the student table, there itself we will include the one more row, and there itself we will write the different courses the student will be offered. So in this way we can avoid data redundancy in the database system. So that's why here minimum storage and minimum access cost is possible in the database system. If so, redundancy problems may also exist in the database system, it can be minimized by using normalization techniques. So data redundancy is possible in the file system and DBMS also. If DBMS such type of problems may rises, it can be minimized by using normalization technique. Now going to the second one. So second one, we are going to discuss about data inconsistency. What is data inconsistency? Wherever there is a data redundancy, it leads to data inconsistency. Why? Because the different versions of same type of data occurs in different places. It leads to unreliable information. Suppose in the previous I explain the example, the student is enrolled in two courses, C and the C++, and after some days he may request to change the address of the student. If suppose we make the changes of the address of the student only in the one record, that is in C and not in the C++, it leads to data inconsistency, because in the future when we want to see the details of the same student, when we open the same student detail information, under the student detail we contains two different addresses, because previously we have not changed the address in one field, and so that's why it leads to data inconsistency. It is very tough for the user to identify which version of information is correct. So that's why data inconsistency leads to unreliable information. It is very different to segregate which version of information is correct. So wherever there is a data redundancy, there may be possibility of the data inconsistency. Obviously this is a problem in the file system, but coming to database system, this is not a problem, because same type or related type of data will be residing in the same location. So there else we can minimize the data inconsistency and we can easily trace the problems. Whenever we will change the address of the same student in the same record, wherever it is there, it is immediately reflected. So there is no issue with the data inconsistency in the database systems. Coming to third difference. So third one, I'm going to discuss about easy to access data. So compared to file system and database systems, we can easily access data only from database systems rather than compared to file systems, because in the already I told, in the file systems it stores the data in the unstructured collection of data. In that unstructured and tree collection of data, it is very difficult to trace the information as per the user requirement. It need to go with the starting to ending of the record, and it's a manual process. It is unable to trace out the as per the user requirement. So it is very time taking. And here if you want to extract anything, if you want to access anything from the file system, here we need to write the new appropriate program each time when we want to get the such type of information. But coming to databases, it consists of some set of programs. By using those programs, we can easily able to extract whatever the information needed by the user. And here in this case, we make use of SQL language, structured query language, which is easy to extract the information whatever the user requires. So easy access is only possible in the database system compared to file systems. Next one, security problem. So coming to security also, file system having no security and the DBMS having the more security, because in the file system, coming to file system, every user can access all the files which are present in the file system. But coming to DBMS, only authorized persons can only access, and those persons can only access whatever the information they need, and what remaining information will be hidden from the users. So this is more secure than compared to file systems. So next one, data isolation. So data isolation is nothing but as data is shattered, nothing but a distributed among several files in different format, nothing but a same type of data is distributed in different versions in different places, then it is very tough for the user to extract whatever the information he required. Every time he need to write the new program to search for that particular kind of the data. That is a major problem in the file system. But when coming to database system, already I told here, same type of data will be residing on the same location. So here we can easily write the program and easily extract the information whatever the user needed. So only major thing, wherever the redundancy problem cannot be sought out, it is a major drawback. So but database systems, we can, even though we are having redundancy, we can easily sort out and we can easily maintain the database. So that's why mostly we are using only nowadays database system than compared to file systems. Next one, integrity problem. So before going to integrity problem, so what is integrity? So integrity is nothing but a setting some constraint to the data present in the database or data present in the file system. What do you mean by constraint? Constraint is nothing but a condition. Suppose I want to extract the data whose age is some greater than 18. The extraction of that data based on that constraint, which is easy in the database systems, but it is not easy task in the file systems, because there we cannot segregate the person's age whose age is greater than 18 in the without manual process. Only with the manual process only we can segregate the data with a specific constraint. But coming to database systems, by using some SQL statements, we can able to retrieve the data based upon the constraint. So here, whatever the constraints, if you want to add to the existing data present in the file system, every time we need to add the new program. Suppose if we add the new program in one file, it won't reflect in the other file. So wherever you're having the data, in all those files, you need to add the data. So it is a very time-taking task, because integrity is nothing but setting the constraint to the data present in the database. Whenever you want to change, whenever you want to give the new constraint to the one file, immediately you need to give the remaining files also, until and unless the data will not be done according to our constraint. But coming to database systems, if you want to set the data in the database according to the constraint, if we make changes in one file, it automatically reflects in all the files which are linked. So that is a major advantage of the database systems. In the file system, why data integrity is a major problem? Because I will tell one example. Suppose a bank, in the banking transactions, if a bank officer want to check the details of all the customers in his bank, then when we choose a DBMS, directly he can open and he can write, simply he can extract the details of all the customers. But in case of file system, he alone cannot be able to extract the details. He need to contact the data processing unit. They need to generate the list. Then after he can check the list of the customers in the bank. So it's a very time taking process to check the list based on the constraints. So that's why DBMS is more efficient than compared to file system. Next one, atomicity problem. So before going to atomicity problem, what is atomicity? Atomicity is in case of transactions. So the total operations can be done or no operations should be done. So atomicity is nothing but a total should be done or it should not be done. So coming to here, whenever we are performing a specific transaction, if any system failure occurs in the middle of the transaction, it should come back to the previous state. Then only we can control the atomicity problem. Until and unless we cannot ensure the atomicity problem, ensuring the data back to the consistent state is not possible in the file system, but it can be, atomicity can be it can ensure in the database system. For example, we are having a customer, suppose a customer want to transfer amount $50 from account A to account B. Nothing but some want to transfer the amount from the account A to account B. So here, in order to transfer the account A to account B, here we require the two operations. The first operation is debit operation and second operation is credit operation. So as soon as when the transaction begins, the first account holder A will perform the debit operation. Then after once this debit operation is completely done, then it is a credit operation will be initialized by the customer B. So when this transaction is going, once first operation is done, if any system failures before completing the debit operation, then there we should take the rollback operation. But we should take the rollback operation in order to move back the data to the consistent state. By the way, we can ensure the atomicity. Such type of ensuring the atomicity cannot be handled in the file system. So because why we cannot ensure? Because when we are going to transfer the amount from the account A to account B, amount will be debited from the account A due to power failure. Amount cannot be credited to account B. The data will be lost from account B and not reached to account B. It leads to inconsistency state of database. Due to this, it leads to atomicity problem that we can overcome in the database system by using rollback operation. Once the transaction stops in the middle, it come back to the previous position where it have halted. So that is nothing but a atomicity problem. Next one, concurrent problem. So what is concurrent problem? So whenever there is a data redundancy, nothing but due to data redundancy only, concurrent problem can be raised. So due to data redundancy, if many users access same copy of file, it leads to concurrent problem. Suppose here I can give the example. Two customers want to withdraw a funds from the same account A at the same time. Suppose two customer A want to withdraw 50 and customer B want to withdraw 100, and the account A having the sum 500. When account A, customer B withdraw the amount at the same time, the file system unable to update the data, and finally it shows only incomplete data. Suppose the account having 500, once the first customer debited, it shows the 450. When the second customer debited, it won't show the 50 rupees. Again, it will show only 400. There may be inconsistency of the data occurs because multiple users access the same file at a time. The file management cannot be done very easily because the manual process is an unstructured collection of data. But coming to database systems, whereas whatever operation, nothing but multiple users access the same file or at a time, the operations which are done which will be updated as it is, nothing but which will be, since data change remains permanent. So these all are the advantages of DBMS and disadvantages of file system. So traditionally they make use of the file systems because there is no DBMS in the traditional. So present in our day-to-day life, we are mostly using databases in order to store large amount of data. In every field we are using databases, in airlines, reservations, everywhere we are using databases due to these advantages of the database system. So this is about the total description about the file system versus DBMS. So coming to tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about view of data and levels of abstraction. Nothing but how data will be stored and how data will be divided into 3 levels, where the operations will be taking, where we are going to perform the storing. So everything will be discussing in the view of data and the levels of abstraction. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.